Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your back porch professor, and once again we're meeting here on a rather sad occasion. First it was Ozzy this week, now it's Hulk Hogan. I'm sure you've all heard by now, but Terry Gene Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan, passed away today. He was 71. Apparently, it was a heart attack. This was following neck surgery that he reportedly had back in May. I actually saw him at the Liberty Ball in D.C. for the inauguration back in January. I didn't get to chat with him, but I saw him from afar, and he was walking with a cane. He looked physically frail, to the extent that someone of his physical magnitude could look, but he was walking very gingerly, clearly relying on the cane. You know, I don't know if any of that's related, but regardless, we have the passing of another cultural icon. And what I want to reflect on with you in this video is how Hulk Hogan and Hulkmania really were MAGA before MAGA. Or maybe better, Hulkmania was a prelude to the awakening of MAGA all across the nation. Now, I know a lot of you were rather shocked to find out that I'm a big heavy metal fan. I did a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne earlier this week, talked about the significance of Ozzy and his fashioning a distinctively archaeo-modern, neo-traditional aesthetic in hard rock that was very influential in me and my guitar playing. Well, I'm going to shock you again. Yes, I am a bona fide WWE fan. My boys and I had seen 3 events at the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia with some pretty awesome seats to boot. In fact, our best seats that we had, not quite ringside, but close, was for a live broadcast of Monday Night Raw. Okay, I kid you not. Yes. So this ain't a bunch of book learning for your prof here. I've been fascinated with the WWE for years now. I've actually read a number of academic and sociological studies on the undeniable phenomenon of WWE. And a number of those studies have drawn parallels between the WWE and MAGA, and particularly Trump rallies. So there have actually been scholars who've studied the WWE and have written about how the WWE is really, in many respects, the ultimate populist event. Maybe it'd be better to say it's the penultimate populist event next to President Trump's MAGA rallies. But those of you who've watched WWE know that it casts certain characters as heroes of the people, right? So when we were into it, my boys are grown up now, but in our time, there was the 5'8" Daniel Bryan. You remember Daniel? Yes, Bryan, right? Well, he actually became a villain, I think, for a time, but that's the soap opera of WWE. But actually, long before someone like Daniel Bryan, this populist element of WWE, where characters become the heroes of the people, we all know goes back to who? It all goes back to none other than the one and only Hulk Hogan, who was in many respects your quintessential populist. He was a Herculean defender of the people with a loyal following of Hulkamaniacs, right? And guess who was the most famous Hulkamaniac of them all? Again, going back to the day, right? It was none other than Donald J. Trump. We have to remember that both WrestleMania 4 and 5 were held at Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, and Trump was actually inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame after his Battle of the Billionaires appearance at WrestleMania 23. This was back in 2007 when he body slammed Vince McMahon. It was awesome. And it's so interesting because scholars have seen this relationship between Trump and the WWE as really the beginning of Trump's populist appeal. So if you think it through, the 2016 election and Trump's battle with the DC swamp was seen by many as the ultimate grudge match, where you had a combination of Trump's taunting rhetoric along with his amazing circus-like rallies, and these combined to create precisely the kind of effect factory, a multi-sensory spectacle comparable to a WWE event. If you've ever been to a Trump rally, it's just amazing in terms of the excitement, the camaraderie. You experience a sense, along with tens of thousands of other people, that, you know, wow, we really are the majority. We really are winning. We really are going to take our country back. Our movement is sweeping the nation. This is awesome. And it's that kind of excitement, that multi-sensory spectacle, that signifies this crossover between Trump rallies and the WWE. And of course, the crossover doesn't just involve a champion of the people. It also involves Boo! Villains, right? Crooked Hillary, boo! Lying Ted, the fake news media, Pocahontas, right? So this is partly what made Hillary's disastrous comment back in 2016 about Trump supporters being deplorables, the basket of deplorables. This is what made it so horrific. She played right into Trump's hands. She became the Vince McMahon villain. She became the establishment villain, the dishonest elite who rig everything in their favor and against the people. She became worthy of being booed by tens of millions of voters. And of course, that's exactly what happened. So WWE is a perfect format for expressing real, legitimate social critique. And to close the loop here, the one who really awakened this glorious embodiment of America First and MAGA in the WWE arena was the one and only Hulk Hogan and Hulkmania. What's his theme song? What was Hogan's theme song? You guys know it. Put it in the chat. Real American. That's the title of his theme song. Whenever he entered into the arena, the lyrics proclaim, I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. Just like when he enters an arena, it's to, I'm proud to be an American. Sound familiar? You see, this wasn't just entertainment. This was populist nationalism decades before Trump descended that golden escalator. Not to get too nerdy here, but sociological research shows us that populist movements need cultural symbols before political leaders. And Hulk Hogan provided that symbol. He defeated foreign villains like the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. He embodied Reagan-era American strength when our nation craved heroes. If you think it through, Hulkmania created the cultural template: strong leadership, patriotic messaging, and standing up to domestic villains and foreign threats. Trump simply awakened what Hogan had planted in so many millions of American hearts. Hulk Hogan didn't just entertain, he prepared America for Trump. He showed us what real Americans looked like decades before Trump reminded us what greatness meant. And then fast forward to July of 2024. This very same Hulk Hogan walked into the Milwaukee Convention Center to the cheers of tens of thousands of adoring fans, rips off his shirt in classic Hulkster fashion, and he declared to the entire world, let Trumpmania run wild. Gang, that wasn't coincidence. Just days after Trump miraculously survived that assassination attempt, that wasn't coincidence. That was destiny. With a magnificently fitting end for Hulk Hogan to share in the spotlight of the very MAGA movement he helped awaken. Hulkmania ran wild so MAGA could run free. God bless, Terry. We love you.